Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CCL Playoffs Bravo stream. My name's Seymour. Alongside me, as always, my wonderful duo, Jesse Cruz. And we are bringing you Oregon Green up against UTA Blue. Quite the matchup, quite the banger. Let's talk about it a bit, Cruz.
Yo, this match is honestly, I think this is low-key going to be one of the matches of the whole tournament. Honestly, we were looking at it before. Yeah. I think records are deceiving when it comes to these two teams. Both of these teams have only lost to teams who are in the top 25. So you know that these two teams are both very good teams, and they're going to come out absolutely swinging today.
Swinging indeed, but before we hop into that, we got to take a little bit of a look at our playoffs schedule. So when we're looking at the Bravo stream, we just came off quite the game between Ryerson and FSU Garnett. That was just before that at the 8:30 matchup. This is the 10 o'clock matchup. This is the round of 64. We're looking at the west side of the bracket now that we just followed up with the Eastern teams. So now we get to see what the west side has. And this is going to be a great one indeed. You can take a look at the bracket as well at collegecod.com. And in that bracket, you will find what each team is going through, the gauntlet that these two teams are showing. And you can see exactly right in front of our faces, the west side. So we are at the bottom, but as we do scroll up, you do see all these matches for the West Side squad. And in fact, there it is, number 20 in front of us. 10 p.m. matchup, Oregon Green 15-2, UTA Blue 13-4. And even the predictions are a little bit interesting for both of these teams, because when you're looking at it, 80% have Oregon Green favoring. But when I was talking to you, Cruz, one thing that I said about this UTA Blue squad is that they came out of quite a difficult division, and they have the upset potential if the stars align.
You absolutely did say that. I don't recall if you said you got them winning or not today, but definitely UTA, they got a good chance of being able to pull this one off. This, like I said, when we were framing this whole thing up, this absolutely has the potential to be one of the matches of the whole tournament here. I think we could end up seeing all 5 games. And I mean, I think we're just in for an absolutely special one here, Seymour.
Absolutely special indeed. And if you're wondering what's on the Alpha stream, the Alpha stream still covering the eastern side of the bracket. It is E4 Knights up against Humber Gold right now. And that is something we were talking about too, is that we got Shift and Cambridge on there, and they are covering probably one of the best round 1 matches that we could possibly have in the CCL right now. Can't wait to see it, but we have a match to cover before that, and it is Oregon Green, UTA Blue. Let's take a look at that home team, Oregon Green, looking quite stellar in the regular season. We got Zelos, we got Tavin, Little Booyah, and Ziz. And across these 4 players, tell me a little bit about this squad, because this squad is really impressing me.
This squad is a respawn destroying squad. You can see it right there in the stats above. They went 15-2 in the regular season, 45-11 in map count. But if you look at that hard point record, 17-2, absolutely incredible. Winning by an average of 92 points in hard point. That is unreal. You look over at their search and destroy, you think, oh, if they're that good at hard point, maybe they might be a weaker search team. No, 9-5 in search and destroy, winning by an average of 1 round. And then if you take a look over at the control, 10-4 in the control as well. And I mean, these guys are just absolute units. They found themselves a few times in the top 25 this year. Unfortunately, towards the end of it, they did end up falling out. But this team is they're just units. They are ready to feast in this playoffs.
Oh, definitely. Units, in fact. And we were looking at Zelos and Tavin to lead the squad against both players. I mean, Oregon Green, they have a tough opponent against them, which is the UTA Blue squad. So we take a look at this UTA squad. It's the University of Texas in Arlington, and it is, in fact, led by Urgent, Schleep, Tony Ma, and Linga. A quad team that, you know what? I said it. They came out of a tough division, but for their placing, I was impressed.
I think we were all pretty impressed, honestly, that they were able to come out 13-4. They were in that tougher, the top cut division of the bracket or of their division, and they had to play some tough schools in that bracket. They were able to come on out, finish the season 13-4. And remember when I was saying the other team was fantastic in Oregon Green in hardpoint? These guys aren't too shabby themselves. 17-7 hardpoint record, finishing with a differential of 47 points, usually to their side. But I mean, I think the big difference between these two teams has got to be in that search and destroy. When you take a look over at this UTA Blue team, 14-5 in search and destroy, and then their control is still very good nonetheless, sitting at a nice 10-7. And I mean, like I said, we're just in for like one of those grudge matches right here.
And like you said, UTA, I mean, like for their staying, I mean, they lost their losses are to teams like UTD Orange, led by Pistachio himself. Ottawa Gold, they lost to North Texas, Tamu. Like those are not like those are not easy like losses right there. Those are tough games to be facing. So when you're looking at both of these teams, in fact, the matchup is ahead of us, right above our noggins. We have the map lineup. They're going to be going to Checkmate, Checkmate, Garrison Apocalypse, and Express. So when we're looking at these vetoes and what we're looking at, we were talking about how that map 3 was going to be a big decider for both of these teams. And in fact, the fact that we are going to Garrison, that slipped it slipped through. I think a lot of these games, like this is incredible what we're seeing. So tell me about these vetoes and who's favoring what.
I'm so surprised by these vetoes. Me and you were talking before this match about what we thought the possible process could end up being in the vetoes, and the fact that that UTA allowed Garrison Control to come through, I think it might be a big blunder on their side. UTA coming in with the record, or sorry, with Oregon coming in on Garrison Control, they're 5-0 on that map. UTA only 3-2. But those two losses were to UTD and Ottawa. So definitely not bad losses of themselves. So if you look a little bit bigger than records, not the worst pick in the world, but the fact that you're playing Oregon Green on their best map and mode combo when you guys are both very even on raid control, that's where I think that this series could get a little bit scary for the side of Oregon Green. But then if you're looking a little bit deeper in the series still, we're going to Apocalypse Hardpoint for that game 4. That neither team has played that map and mode combo as well. And I mean, I really still do think that this game will come down to that control. I absolutely expect Oregon to come out, take this first hard point. They're very good at checkmate hard point. They're 2-0 on the map, but still not even a bad pick for the side of UTA Blue as well, sitting at 4-1. So I mean, really, the series could go either way, but we're still looking very heavily focused at that Garrison control.
Definitely. I mean, if UTA wants to make that upset in the bracket, they got to take their twos and fives. I mean, Checkmate Search, Express Search, and Destroy. Those are UTA's maps to win. The Garrison's going to lead the way. Hard points, all Oregon seeing their stat line. And Apocalypse Hard Point, I mean, neither team has played Apocalypse, like you were saying. I think that has a little bit of a favor towards UTA. It gives them a chance to maybe take a hard point in this series. But definitely
Absolutely.
when you're separating these two teams, 2-5 for UTA Blue, and you're looking at 1-4 for Oregon Green. That number 3, the big X factor in this, the big unknown between it. But checkmate hardpoint for map 1. This map 1 of the series is going to be so big to lead off for Oregon Green. Tell me, what does Oregon Green need to do to have that lift off in this series?
Oregon Green need their ARs to come out and be balanced across all mode. I'm looking at you, Tavin. You got to come out. You got to be pulling the same stat line you've been pulling all year long. He's sitting at a 1.89 at hard point. It's absolutely unreal. He's the main AR on this team. He needs to just be locking down those big long lines of sight of checkmate. And I mean, I think he absolutely has every capability to be able to do it.
Oh, I think so as well. And on top of it, I mean, when you look at UTA, you need a player like Urgent. He has steady stats across all of them, and he is going to be big for counteracting this Oregon Green squad. So if he can go toe to toe with a player like Tavin, I know he's the SMG player, but if he can get up in his face and make those airs uncomfortable, UTA might give Oregon a run for their money. But definitely, you're looking at Tavin, you're looking at Zelos for Oregon Green, the AR and the flex to just carry through for the squad and stay heavy, especially on a map like Checkmate. Because if you're talking about Checkmate, it's a very assault rifle heavy map.
It is a very assault rifle heavy map, but let's not forget that two of those hills are going to be right underneath and inside that plane, where the SMGs absolutely can still continue to dominate. And a lot of those, yes, a lot of people do say that this AR heavy map, but man, the battle for that plane is so important to be able to look over and watch over some of those big hills. That hill 4, hill 5, you absolutely still need plane control to be able to lock down those hills as good as you want them to be done. And we are loading into checkmate hardpoint now. Seymour, we're in for a good one here, bud.
You know what, Cruz? We are in good for a good one. So let's take a look at that checkmate hard point. Let's get these players ready to go. Let's see this. This is playoffs, baby. Anything can happen between these two teams. We're just here to set up the storyline. So let's check out checkmate hard point. These teams are ready, are getting ready to go, but it's having a little bit of trouble to get in here. So you're talking about these teams and how they're setting up for that. We're talking about these hard points. And give me a little bit of juice into this. What are we looking at for these hard points right off the bat?
Well, I mean, it's always going to be about getting those spawns for P2 on this hill, right? So you absolutely want to be able to contest for as much time as you possibly can on this first hill, but you always want those spawns on the right-hand side of the map for P2. And we are into the map now. Oregon Green starting off on the less preferred side. They have to try to contest as much of this time as possible and flip these spawns out very quickly. They're able to push through, find a couple kills off the bat, so early time will be going their way, around 5 seconds or so. You can already see Tavin trying to push his way all the way through the map, trying to flip it on its head. Not going to be the case, and you've got UTA set up inside the hill now.
Split even. Linga on the contest, sitting on the search and destroy. He's going to drop down and look to clear these players outside of the small room. Z-Lost for the trade. Bait and switch into Tavin. Big picks for Oregon Green to start this bait. But now you got to worry about these P2 spawns because Oregon Green, they are not favored for the second spawn. I mean, you have that layaway in number 5, Linga. But it's time for a break, and that's already happening through the yellow crate. Schlep goes down. It's successful for Oregon. They just have to pick one more player.
It's just Low Booyah back here. He needs to win this one-on-one, but he gets shot in the back. He is going to get shut down. So now there's only one player left here for the side of Oregon Green, and it is going to be Tavin. He needs to just kind of sit back, wait for his teammates to come off spawn so they can try to push on through this bottom right-hand side of the map. You can see all the players of UTA Blue continuing to spawn up with their teammates. So now they have a good chance to try to zone the rest of this team out, but with how far forward these Oregon Green players are pushing, every gunfight they win will spawn out a player from UTA Blue.
Yeah, but UTA Blues winning their gunfights. Tony Ma finds it. Unfortunately, Little Booyah turns up big. Hero plays. So Oregon Green able to break into the back map. Now they got to play for this point. Urgent soaking up as much time as you have Tavin for the break. Urgent's watching that Linga. Taking a little bit of layaway shots from Zip, but now Urgent picking away at that second player. Oregon Green losing out on this next hard point for P2, even breaking those spawns, but UTA starting off hot.
They lose the spawns very early in that round, but Urgent able to continue to pick up a couple kills there. He's actually on 5 in a row now, just continuing to soak up the time. So he's going to be trying to play for the streaks as he starts to push out of here. He does end up falling to Z-Loss. So Oregon Green, they spawn up in the back. They're able to shut down those streaks. That's huge. You don't want to be giving away streaks, especially this early inside of a hard point game. But I mean, so far, as much as you would really expect here on a checkmate hardpoint. It's a very contest heavy so far through. Both teams are just trying to vie for position on the map right now. You got UTA set up under this play. They're already at Oregon Green hit trying to come through.
Urgent drops on the hill. Z-Loss and Tavin. The ARs turn up big underneath. P3 gets broken. Oregon soaking up this time, only down by 23 points. So plenty of time to get that to flip this lead. Just have to stick on it and keep on top of these points. But UTA Blue, they find the picks that they're needed. They get right back onto this point. And even Urgent, player that we were highlighting, takes control of that plane and locks it down for another P3 break.
And you can already see UTA, they're trying to put full focus on this P4 hill. They want to be able to lock down a ton of time on this hill. They're not 4-1 on this map for absolutely no reason. And Linga wins a huge gunfight there to just give early time going to the way of UTA. That's a 3 down. And now you can see Oregon Green. They're spawning all the way across the map. They're going to have to run all the way over here from the second hard point just to try to get close to touching this.
You know, a player that I had highlighted up is Schlep versus Zillas. The flex AR rules for these teams, and Schlep is winning some crucial one-on-ones to hold these spawns for UTA Blue. A big scrimmage on the point for P4. Lil Booyah comes up top and some hot shots towards the plane, but the nade gonna clear him off it. Zip still on top of it. Oregon Green trying to hold on to this point, keeping UTA Blue off it. They only have Tony Ma to worry about. Tavin, I don't know if he spotted this player immediately to his right. He's gonna be worrying about the cross, but Tony Ma is his initial worrisome, and Tony Ma comes up big to hold on to UTA Blue. They got 100 points to 50 of Oregon Green.
I mean, what Oregon Green's not doing, especially on this hill, is they don't have plane control at all. They can't contest this hill from the plane and shut down the players from the side of UTA Blue because they can't get anywhere near the hill towards the top of the plane. If you hold on to that wing from the defensive side, you can absolutely shoot your way on through and drop those players, stop them from getting so much good positioning inside. Not going to be the case. And UTA are able to string those two hills together as they now set up early here. Oregon Green, once again, having to push all the way across the map. We said going into this that this is like one of Oregon Green's best map mode combos. And, I mean, right now, they're down 60 points to UTA.
But UTA is showing us that we just can't sleep on the respawns right now. Linga, big one-on-one. He's got the help, though. Lil Booyah over the shoulder. Schlep shuts him down. Big two-piece for himself to keep UTA up in this fight. 30 seconds on P5 left. That would put him up at 160. Got some help. Zip, lay away on the shot. Going prone. Schlep's going to find him. The cross from Z-Loss right into the sights of Schlep. That's a 2 kill for himself. And You do have Zelos going on a 3 spree, but Schlepp on 4 right now, playing for those streaks.
It just feels like every trade right now is going in UTA's favor. They just time and time again are finding every kill after kill. And look at them. They're already in succession, moving from P5 back to this first hill. There's only Zip here for the side of Oregon Green. He's going to fall, so that's going to be initial time once again, going to the side of UTA. And you've got Schlepp on another 5 spree.
Yeah, I said that there's upset potential in the series, but I didn't expect this upset potential to be shown in the hard point. Oregon Green, we called them for this hard point, Cruz. And they need a big hill to bring themselves back in it because they are down by over 100 points. And UTA is right now uncontested inside the plane. You need number 3, Tavin, here to win some big gunfights, and he picks up 2. Can't find the 3rd, Tony Ma, to hold on, but he's pinched on both sides, so Oregon Green finally get the break. And you're worried about that flank now. Linga, look at him all the way in the back.
And I mean, let's not forget, this is Oregon Green's map pick. They chose this map. They wanted to play checkmate search or checkmate hardpoint, knowing that UTA is 4-1 on this map and very good at it. So I mean, the fact that they are down so heavily right now on their map pick is definitely not a place where they want to be. They need to start trying to battle back into this game, winning some of these key rotations. But I mean, they just keep getting shut down time and time again. It's going to be urgent inside the hill. He does end up getting the wins out here so far. But UTA is just going to continue to spawn up in the back, and they can keep reinforcing this hill.
A little Booyah Link prone inside the crate. They're going to know he is a double nade. He has the trophy, but it's not on the ground. He's going to have some big fights alongside him. Schlepp doesn't spot him out just yet. Tavin with a big win, but Schlepp breaks into that crate. A 3 go down for Oregon, and they're going to be spawning all the way back behind that 0.4 crates. And have a big journey to get back here. 30 seconds still on this 0.2. Schlepp watching the cross. Urgent push out towards the plate. He watches that, and he gets 2 right in front of the yellow crate. So Oregon Green, they might have to look and scrap this P2 and give up a lot of time.
I really feel like Oregon may have just come out very flat here in this series so far. Like, this is not something that you expected by any means to see them be losing like this on their map pick. They have a very strong possibility right now of being 100-point club. They are going to hop on and get these last 7 seconds from the old hill. But I mean, when you're pushing this old hill like that, you're giving all the time in the world for UTA to spawn up on the left-hand side of the map and try to get set up underneath this plane. Now, you can see Tony Moss trying to push out and shut this down, and you've got UTA Blue set up underneath the hill inside this plane, and they can still win on this hill.
And UTA coming out so hot. And in our sister stream on the Delta side of it, LA Tech Red up 2-0 in Garrison control, leading the control map 2-1. So they are on match point right now, looking to take down the Rutgers Black squad. So in our sister stream, we're watching for that. But right here, right now, UTA Blue stomping Oregon Green. So you see the picture-in-picture. Take a look at that. LA Tech Red on the brink of taking this. Dead even right now on their attack. And 6 points away, UTA Blue, they look like they're going to take this. They look like they're taking this, and they are making a statement on map 1 checkmate. Brilliant from UTA Blue for the start of this. But immediately, I want to hop in with this control cruise. I want to see what LA Tech's got going for them right now, because Rutgers Black, they are struggling.
I mean, it looks like it might be over very shortly here, if we're being completely honest looking at this. It is... Oh, they do get shut down, so they're not going to get the final tick there on A, but I mean, they are pretty well close to losing this. They only need to get one more tick here on the offense if you're Rutgers Black to try to force us into a game 5, but LA Tech was able to shut it down. And I mean, with that 2-piece, they're just trying to really close this map out right here.
Well, LA Tech Red on this defense, if they can hold on to this 1 tick, they got the life lead by about 6. And Rutgers Black need 1 big break to take this win. You're looking at Chatter here for a big one-on-1 in the back of the map. Hold Troll 30-17. Quite the showing here on Garrison Control. A menace to be had in the armories. And 26 seconds. It might not even go to the time because you're only down to 6. Make it 5 lives for Rutgers. 1 away from being on the life point. And with Insight going down, it's going to keep Rutgers in that 1 life pool. They're going to pour out Stop the Clock. Seasoned watching it. Takes out 1. No respawns for Rutgers. Seasoned's turning up big. Chatter's on the point. And with that crate, Chatter with 2. All alone here to make the hero play. 1v11. I scratched Hybrid here, Cruz. I didn't even see him, but Rutgers not able to stand tall to LA Tech Red. There's nothing Hybrid can do here. LA Tech Red with the 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, LA Tech, wow. They come out and they just absolutely stomp through Rutgers Black here. And they're able to close that series out for themselves. And I mean, very good showing from them in this first game. Oh man, Seymour, if this is the type of series this is going to be, Throw the notes out the window because we don't even know what the heck is going on here.
I don't even know
Oregon
what I'm
Green
reading.
just got 100-point clubbed on their map pick.
I don't even know what I'm reading here. Like we just did so much prep for this series saying Oregon's going to take this hard point. And UTA does that. Like what's happening? This is playoffs. This is what CCL playoffs are about. This is what we're saying. Anything can happen between these teams. But Checkmate Search and Destroy coming out second, and UTA, a strong search team. So talk to me a little bit about this search.
I mean, when I was looking through the search and destroys, I was really focusing on the fact that Oregon Green, their best search and destroy map, or actually, sorry, their only two search and destroy maps that they play on a general basis is Raid and Miami Search and Destroy. The only two maps that they've played all year long. This is why I'm a little worried about them in this series, especially now that they lost that map 1. Both those maps not in this. We're going to Express into Checkmate.
No.
Checkmate is the next one. If you're looking over at UTA Blue, they're 3-1 on this map mode combo. I mean, I guess map mode combo and records don't really matter that much, but for the fact that Oregon Green has not played this map all year long, I'm looking a little bit scared for them here.
Well, definitely it would be like a big 2-0 because we're considering Garrison is that big swing. So when we're saying that Oregon, a hardpoint team, I mean, if they lose out on this checkmate, you have that Garrison control, you have Apocalypse hardpoint, but this would be a big statement if UTA can take Oregon's game and Oregon can take UTA's game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's what's going to have to happen at this point, right? Unless I think the only possible thing that maybe might be able to play in Oregon's favor here is that Garrison control. They are 5-0 on, right? So if they do end up losing this, not the biggest deal. They have another fantastic map mode combo for themselves that they can hold on to maybe swing this series back into their favor after. But I mean, we got to focus on this search and destroy now, and we're heading back to Checkmate. And I mean, it's already a very fast hit coming in from UTA Blue. I would expect them to slow down here as neither team are going to have trophies yet. So you're going to see a ton of nades and utility thrown here in the first round inside of this plane. I'm very interested to see what Oregon Green are able to do here on this map mode combo. Because like we said, going into this, have not played it yet.
Zealous right behind the B bomb, laying prone. Tony Ma on his right. Take a look at Zips, number 8, dancing with number 1, Linga. Outside this plane. He's going to back up, give up that space. Tavin with the first blood for Oregon. A big start to this defensive round. It's going to force the bomb to exit this plane, go onto the wing, try to take it back. Equalized by Schlepp, 3v3. Catches out Lil Booyah on the flank. So suddenly, this is interesting for UTA Blue.
I just want to know how strong those damn flak jackets are. My dude's laying down beside 2 grenades, and he does not die. So apparently flak jacket coming through very strong for Zelos there. And I mean, they got to try to move up to get this bomb down too. It's going to be 2 more kills going down back and forth, and Tony Moss taking the gunfight on the bomb, but the head glitch going to the side of Zelos. He's able to pick up the gunfight. It's only Schlepp left now in a 1v2.
Schlepp to make the hero play, pinched on either side of the plane. He's going to get the bomb down, but as soon as that happens, Zelos is going to peek him. Zip's going to peek him. They have him cornered in a wall, and Knee's not even going to find a pick. Zip's going to take him down before Zelos can get a piece of him. And that's going to be Oregon taking first blood.
Beautifully played by Oregon there. They were able to just completely take control of UTA's side of the map. They're able to flip in behind, set up a pinch on the last player who was on the bomb. They don't care that he's put the bomb down. They're basically just giving themselves extra points at the end of the day when they just hop on and get that defuse, because it makes it so much easier when you know he's got absolutely nowhere to go. They're able to shut that push down. And I mean, it's exactly what Oregon needs to do. They needed to come out after getting stomped the way they did in that map 1, set an early pace here in this search and destroy. Remember, guys, we are expecting UTA to be a little bit better at this map mode combo because they have played it quite a bit more than Oregon, but that's not saying that Oregon can't come out here and still win this map.
Zelos sent out for the hop up, watching the cross outside the plane. And Tony Moss sitting in Zelos' spot that he was on defense. So Tony's going to have quite the price ahead of him. Big first blood for Oregon once again. Onto Schlepp, who was the answer back last time around. So big pick for the side of Oregon indeed. Just waiting for that go-ahead. Zip's going to peek him. Urgent spot that, but Urgent lines up 2 of them. Instant equal 2v2. They line up and he puts them down.
Yeah, Urgent's playing this famous spot. I love this spot on defense. You see Fellow playing it all the time for the side of, I believe he's on Triumph and Challengers, but he plays this back area and he just continuously watches over oh so well. And you have Linga back here as well. But Tavin, it's a huge one-on-one, and that's going to leave Urgent here in this 1 versus 2, and I believe they know where his positioning is.
They know exactly where he is. He's the only one with a kill for UTA. They
He
might
loves
line
the
up
trap.
exactly for him. Little Booyah.
No, he can get this down
Urgent
without getting spot.
doesn't even see him. Urgent, he has to know this at some point that the bomb's gonna go down at A.
I
Now he
don't know
definitely
now.
knows. Tavin's gonna be his first lineup right around the corner. Spotted.
But look at Tavin. Tavin just rotates out, changes his positioning up completely. They're keeping Urgent guessing. He has no idea where these two players are now that he's completely moved out of there. He's got to check every single corner, and he's just going to get shot in the back. Wow, Oregon Green, so far so good, 2-0. Who would have thought they rotate off the bomb site and put it down over at that A site? I mean, that was a round of beauty once again. Giving him Oregon Green there.
Even after that 2-piece from Urgent, I mean, you walk right into his setup. Lil Booyah tucks himself into that B bomb corner, but he's able to just thinly thread the needle to just get out of there, and it was just perfect timing for Oregon Green to take that round.
Yeah, I think the important thing for UTA there, or sorry, for Oregon Green there is yes, they get 2-piece, but they were able to at least find the player on the bomb site, so at least they weren't in a 4 versus 2 at that situation. They were still in a 4v3 and able to play the numbers, get back in. Zip is playing a very aggressive spot here. Him and Tony Matt are just basically laying side by side on the site, and Zip's gonna be the first player challenged. He's gonna fall. Urgent with another huge first blood.
Urgent. I mean, that player's on our radar for a reason. It's because he does things like that. Slides in, first blood. UTA Blue, finally, finding a lead in this series, finding an advantage in this game. Tavin, outside, back to the corner, going to get naded out by Urgent. Should land on both of them. The stun, at least. The nade doesn't touch him. He knows Tavin's in this corner. Can he find the second one? In fact, he does. A big lead now for UTA Blue. And Schlepp, he's got that opening for the A site, so the rotation totally inbound.
Yeah, we'll see if they try to move it all over there. Lil Booyah was able to find one on Schlepp, and Lil Booyah is able to find the second as well. So the rotation will come through, but Lil Booyah is still in a position where he can still watch this bomb site. Urgent's going to shoot, so now they know the positioning of Urgent as well. Lil Booyah is able to find his third. He might get the ace here.
1v1, Lil Booyah goes down. No ace for him. Zelos right to his right. Urgent's going to check it. Back is turned, and that is Urgent for the ace. Turns it right around on Lil Booyah. Gives himself a 4-piece.
They were like, this was the battle of the aces here. It was going to either go to Lil Booyah or to Urgent. And Lil Booyah not able to close it out, but I mean, still a very valiant effort from him to bring it back from a 2 versus 4 all the way to a 1 versus 1 at the end. They're finding 3 kills in the round. Unfortunately, just wasn't enough there. And I mean, dude, if Oregon Green would have started off 3-0 here after we thought that they aren't going to pick up the search and destroys, and UTA just 100-point clubbed them on the hard point that we didn't think that they were going to win. Oh my God. Seymour, what are we watching right now?
I gotta throw my hands up like Mr. Nameless himself, and I would be mind blown, my friend. But right now, 2-1 for Oregon in the search and destroy. Back on the attack. They were successful on their attack last time around. Let's see if UTA makes the adjustments to shut them down for this defense. You got the double stack onto B, 2 players lingering around, or 1 player lingering around A, 1 all the way in the back spawn to watch the crosses. So good setup from UTA Blue. Tavin looking for an opening.
And yeah, I mean, you can see Zip. He's pushed so far up into that plane again. So you know he doesn't want to get blooded here. He's just trying to basically spot out any of these players over towards B. And it looks like now the hit is going to start to come on in. They might try to start to double challenge out towards the side of this right area. But Urgent is going to be the player there.
Urgent
Catches a really bad timing. I believe Zelos spotted him out.
So now Linga's got a big challenge ahead of him here. Zelos all the way into the back of the map. Linga's expecting it though, and Schlepp for the help. 2 players read it perfectly. Now Zip caught off guard by Urgent, who did get into that plane. Everything's falling apart for Oregon. UTA with a flawless round on this defense. Oregon fell apart.
Why are they pushing so far into UTA spawn? What is the point of this? Yeah, maybe you can hit a flank. You're not going to hit a flank all the way through the back of the shark fin. There's no point to push all the way back there. That does not make any sense. And Urgent finds 2 more kills in that round. So I believe he's going to be 1-off streaks now here, Seymour.
And you have to say, you know, as quiet as it was towards A and B, Linga notices that, he backs up, he reads the flank, that quietness, you know, somebody's expected to be in your spawn at that point, and big reads from Linga and Schlepp to find that 2-2.
And I mean, Oregon Green, I feel like you got to win this round here. You don't want UTA to win too many rounds in a row and start building some momentum, start to snowball this out of control. The big thing in this round, though, and I guarantee you we're going to be sticking on with Urgent for the most part here, is he is on 6 in a row. So one more kill, he will find that artillery strike. And artillery strikes are so huge in Search and Destroy. You can continue to ping those out, find these players, and where everybody's set up. It just gives you so much information, whether you're using it to find kills or not. And I mean, that's why you're seeing Oregon Green play so slow right now. They know he's on 6. They don't want to give up a first blood right now.
But even look how confident Urgent is. And we saw firsthand what that artillery strike can do last week in their regional, or earlier this week in the regional qualifiers. So Oregon, if they get a pick onto Urgent with him being a little overconfident, it'd be a huge play for Oregon to take. You can hear a pin drop right now. It's so quiet between these two teams.
Nobody's moved in a minute.
Oh, Schlepto overextends to the A side. Lil Booyah continues his dominance to that side of the map.
He's been great sitting in that back NASA tunnel, just continuing just to rain fire down all of his opponent. And there's the streaks. Urgent's able to find it. So that's going to be 7. Bomb should be going down over towards this B site. And I mean, Lil Booyah all alone in NASA.
They know exactly where he is. He's been playing here all game long. He almost got the ace last time he was on defense. He has 3 individual one-on-ones to take, and they know exactly where he is. So you got 30 seconds to make this work. Linga's in your spawn. Tony Ma and Urgent backed up into the plane. So he has to take Linga out first. He can't turn his back to this player. He's going to have to know that that player's there and take him down. In fact, spots him out 1v2. Tony Ma's going to be the next one up, but he has an opening to just escape this plane. Both around there. Tony Ma slides across. Bait and switch right into Urgent. Team kill. Urgent doesn't even find that, so Urgent doesn't get the cruise missile, but Tony Ma cleans up the round.
They almost lined up for him. That would have been very unfortunate. Could you imagine if they lined up for him and Lil Booyah gets those 2 kills, tying us up here, but not going to be the case. UTA was able to close it out in a very, very slow offense and find the streak. So everything right now working into UTA's favor. They are on 3 rounds in a row. And I mean, Oregon Green on this offense here, I feel like this is almost a must-win offense.
You have 3 in a row. Have to shut that down now. Oregon setting up on this attack, looking for the outer plane control. Linga's going to be watching this, sitting a little bit back between where it's commonly seen Civ set up for that challengers. Back in garage. 2 players to plane for UTA, 1 over at the A site.
Civ's getting so aggressive again. The last time on offense, we saw Oregon push all the way through the back, through this back blue area that you see Linga set up in right now, and Little Booyah is able to find the first one, but it's still Tony Ma on the site.
They overwhelm him, and they take him down, so that's a free plant for Zip to get this down. He just has to drop this bomb. Little Booyah continuing, takes out Linga now. All alone, Schlep for a 1v3 now. Exact situation where Little Booyah was last time. Finds Tavin, rips him off a head glitch. 1v2, bomb is down. Planted for the defender's side of the plane. Zip and Little Booyah tethered together side by side to get that trade, and Schlep looking for another individual fight.
Yeah, I don't think he has any idea where they are, right? So he's just trying to spot everything out right now that he can. Oh, I thought he was going to challenge around. He's going to do it now for sure. Does get shut down. I mean, and like we said, a must-win round for Oregon Green there. Defenses on this map generally can be a lot easier to win, so the fact that they're able to tie that up on an offense heading into their next defense, it's like the ball is back in their court right now.
I mean, Lil Booyah's impressing me right now. He is so good right now in this search and destroy. You look at his stats, he does have a 1.59 search KDA, but I was really expecting the AR of Tavin to keep this team in check. But Lil Booyah, captain of Oregon Green, he's leading this team in search for a reason, and now 8-4 on checkmate.
And you can see UTA, they're gonna bring this bomb all the way back up towards the middle of this map. And like you said, yeah, Little Booyah is playing so well right now at 8-4. It's a much better showing from the Oregon Green side than what we've seen in that map 1. At least this map is closed. Another first blood for Urgent.
Zip had no idea.
And they can just continue to work this bomb all the way up through the middle of the map now. Linga's able to find another one. It's really going to be up to Zelos here inside the plane. He's got to find one and get away with his life here.
It's going to be big, but Urgent, Tony Ma On the other side, Lincoln drops his teammate, and then the trade comes through for UTA Blue, and they just keep this ball rolling, take that lead right back, now up 4-3, and they split the momentum of Oregon Green that they had going for them.
And they haven't even used the streak yet either. They're saving that streak for a rainy day if they need it in a later round. And I mean, so far, so good for them. That round is so beautiful. This kill from Linga really opens it up. He's able to drop low Booyah, which is just basically just traps Zelos inside the plane. He has nowhere to go because he can get pinched up in from behind. So he's got to look one way, take the gunfight, and he ends up losing it. And I mean, that's one of those fights there where Lil Booyah was set up at the back. He kind of needs to win that gunfight against Linga, but not going to be the case this time through. Lil Booyah does not come out on top.
He's an aggressive player. He's doing it again. Exactly. It fits right into where he's been going all game long. But look at this defense setup for number 2, Urgent. Look how far pushed up he is on the A site.
It's kind of an off angle too. Like, you don't really expect players to be playing this spot right now. He's just trying to see if he can spot any of these players on the side of Oregon Green crossing through. It's a situation where they definitely don't want to get caught out at. And I mean, he has definitely been the player for the side of UTA Blue, really keeping the pace of this game right now.
10-4, I mean, I'd say so as well. Shilep finds first blood once again for UTA, and he dips out with his life. Urgent peeks from his corner, takes down Zip, and Schlep keeps it going. The train is tugging for UTA Blue, and Zelos now has to make the hero 1v4 play. The clutch, Urgent spots him, throws some layaway shots from the high ground, and now dancing with death, waits for his teammate to back him up, looking for another flawless. Urgent in the back, feeds right into the player, into the plane, and Zelos, he didn't have much going for him for that round. 5-3 for UTA Blue. Tough situations for Oregon Green.
It is just not going well right now for Oregon. Every time something can go wrong and they can get first blood, it happens. And then in this round, they get 3-for-1 traded out. Low Booyah just gets caught underneath the plane. And it's just not something that you want to see from them. I love that defense, though, coming in from UTA. Everybody was playing some different off angles, and they were able to spot out all the Oregon players as they were trying to push underneath the plane. And I mean, it's what Oregon has been doing time and time again. They've really been trying to take control of that bottom plane as opposed to trying to push in towards that top side of the plane, push out into the hallway, and when the gunfight's there, they keep trying to hit these flanks. And UTA is caught on, and they are just not allowing it to happen anymore.
I swear, Urgent hasn't been in the same place for 2 rounds in a row. He's always doing something different, and that is giving his team those options. Still has a streak. Schlepp's going to get that stun onto Zip as well. Lil Booyah, though, catches him with a nade in hand. First blood for Oregon Green. And a big blood indeed, but Urgent instant trade back. Ties this game back up 3-3 for the round.
The 3-3s here is interesting because Zip is still in a position where he can watch the cross through this top plane from the angle that he's sitting right now towards that A lane. So he can see everything if anybody tries to cross. That's why you keep seeing him check it, turn around, check back behind him. He just wants to make sure he's not losing any information, and hopefully he's able to catch a good timing here for his team. Sounds like the streak is going to come in from the side of UTA, but Zip wins a big gunfight in the back.
I'm pretty sure that ping let him know that Zip was there, so Linga did expect that player, but still the one-on-one going there. Urgent, 2 players in front of him. Peeks is back to Tavin, but takes down Zelos. Now Tony Ma, 1v1 against Zip. Takes the player in the back of the plane, now rotates instantly over to the A side. Zip spots him out from the bottom of the plane, and Oregon Green are still in this.
That round got really scary when they got first blooded on offense, but they were able to get away with their lives here. Whew, when they got the first blood on defense, but they got traded back so quickly. Got a little bit scary towards the end of that round, but Oregon Green able to hold on to it at the end. But now the big question is they need to win another offense here, the harder of the two on this map mode combo. I'd like to see them throw something a little bit different here at UTA. Maybe hit back towards that A site again. Just do something different than hitting underneath the plane. But it looks like we're getting another hit towards the plane. 2
big things from that round. Artillery is not there anymore, and Zip flanks to find Linga. So Oregon Green, right things happen that round for them to keep him in it. Now looking to force this round 11 against UTA Blue. Setting up for a similar push to what we've seen, like you say, but Zip now working inside the plane. You got Tony Ma patiently waiting behind the barrel, and Urgent all the way backed up on the staircase. So this is a good setup for UTA to set up to shut down what Oregon Green is going for.
They got to be careful.
And with that pick on Urgent, Tony Ma is going to peek into the window and trade this one up onto Zip, and he gets away with his life as well to get right back into the Zelos right in the corner. Bad timing for Zelos, but not for Tony Ma. Now 2v3, Lil Booyah on the B site. He's going to be naded out, forced right into Tony Ma. That's a great play from himself. 1v2 now as Tavin takes down Linga. Schlep knows where he is. 1-on-1. Tony Ma versus Tavin for round 11. Exactly where will Tony Ma take this fight? Because he knows where Tavin is, but Tony Ma is a question mark. He's going to get right behind him, and UTA off of Tony Ma's huge play is going to take this map 6-4 and go up 2-0 in the series.
I literally don't even know how to break that last round down. It was just absolute chaos. Everybody was just fighting individual gunplays all around the map, and it was just time and time again, UTA, they're able to pull off just the trades over and over again. And the player who really makes the big play in that round, like you said, it really has to go to Tony Ma. He's laying down on the outside of the plane there. As the two players on Oregon Green trying to push through the middle of the plane, the player who was sitting in the back of the plane, I can't remember who it was on defense, but he takes a couple shots down, lets Tony Ma know that he sees both players push up. That gives Tony Ma the okay to wrap all the way from outside the plane through and inside, and he's able to shut down both the players and ultimately end up clutching up that round for the side of UTA Blue.
I mean, Urgent and Tony Ma, like, they are on fire right now for UTA Blue. UTA Blue is about to upset 80% of people's brackets because Oregon Green was the heavy favorite for this team, and they are down 2-0 in this series. We talked about Control, though. Control is supposed to be a big map for this Oregon Green squad. I mean, they have a great showing on this before. They have a great statistic for Garrison Control, and this might start their means for a reverse sweep. So talk to me a little bit about Garrison Control here. We're past the initial hard point. We're past the search and destroy. UTA look good. Now, what do we need from Oregon Green?
Well, I mean, like you said, for Oregon Green, this map and mode combo, like you said about this map mode combo, Oregon Green, they absolutely, if they want to get a reverse sweep, this would be the map and mode combo for them to have. They're 5-0 on this versus the side of UTA Blue, who's 3-2. It's still anybody's game, in my opinion.
It's short and sweet, and Garrison Control is going to be a big turner for Oregon Green. But before that, a little bit of a break. We'll be right back with the Bravo stream. And welcome back, everybody, to the Bravo stream. Oregon Green down 0-2 to UTA Blue right now, looking to fight back for a reverse sweep. Garrison Control up next. Cruz, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it indeed. This is the map that we thought was going to be the swing map in the series. And you know what? It very well still could be.
Could be.
We didn't expect UTA to come out and get a hot 2-0 off the start here, but you know what? It's done. It's dusted. But this is the map. If Oregon Green want to come back in the series and they want to get the ball rolling, this is the map they want to be going to. It's their best map and mode combo across all game modes. I don't even know how this snuck through. They are 5-0 on this map versus the side of UTA Blue, who's coming into this map and mode combo at 3-2. But don't be too shocked if the UTA is able to come in with the 3-0 here. They are the only two losses on this map are to two very good teams in Ottawa Gold and UTD Dallas Orange.
And now it says right on my paper, I put my paper aside because nobody on either team wants to listen to what we write down, but it says right there, don't go Garrison Control. UTA Blue, we expected them to kind of avoid this map, maybe set up for a raid control or something other than Garrison, anything really. But this is where we are. This is where we end up. And in the likes of Oregon Green, this just might be their saving grace.
And it really might be just because of what we have coming up in the rest of the series as well. Because if they are able to win this, we're going to be heading to an apocalypse where they don't have a record on apocalypse, and neither does UTA Blue. That map is completely fresh in our minds. I still feel like that one could go absolutely either way. And then the Express Search and Destroy. Yes, they haven't played Express Search and Destroy. UTA Blue has played it 1-1, but I mean, they haven't played it. That means there's no tape on them on it. They could absolutely still come out and surprise us with that last game too.
Now I need somebody to put a check on Urgent though. Somebody needs to step and go toe to toe with Urgent, because if you let that submachine gun go crazy on Garrison, I mean, this is a sub map. And Urgent is just going to be looking to rain terror on Oregon Green. So when we're looking at Oregon, I really need I need Zelos to switch to a sub and pick up where Urgent's trying to just take off with, and just go toe to toe, because Zelos is going to be huge for this. He's been quiet so far. He's going to be a big player for this Garrison Control. We're hopping right in, zips on our screen. One of the submachine guns of Oregon Green. They're going to be on attack as well. UTA Blue setting up their defense. Look for the ace side. Instantly, Linga Urgent shut it down. Tavin trying to keep it going, picking up two of his own. Need to stop in the time. Zip trying to get sleep.
I love this.
They're gaining time.
I love this play. You instantly stop the clock because you go over towards A. That's a little bit of an over challenge though from Tavin. Not sure how I feel about that. And they're going to get two-piece in the middle of the map by Tony Ma as well. So instantly shut down. As I was saying, I love it. Now you've got all the players from UTA Blue pushing up and trying to get up into your spawn. For anybody who is wondering, we are going to be playing with the old rule set. So it's not going to be towards zone captures, which will decide the last defense. It will be total kills. So the fact that UTA Blue already up by 6 kills, make that 7, off to a fantastic start here.
They don't even know Tony Ma is in here. He's looking for more. He's looking to bite the head off the snake. Tavin, a little bit pushed up on the plat, but Tony Ma, pay him no mind. Still up by 6 lives. He might have some good timing off a couple of players. Lil Booyah, did he spot him out? Not able to find Tavin. Almost taking that second kill. 30 seconds left. Down by a plethora of kills. Tavin with a good kill. Zelos with the switch. They stopped the clock, but Urgent's found his way into the back. Now Zip's the only one standing on the B site.
And I mean, this is not to start you on for Oregon Green. They were able to get a couple kills off the bat, instantly shut down. They will finally hop on into this zone, but I mean, with only 20 seconds left here, you're basically going to have to win out through this set of trades here, or you're probably going to end up losing this round. They're able to find a couple of flank comes in from behind. They don't end up getting shut down. That's going to be 4 dead for the side of Oregon Green, and you can already see Zip is trying to progress his way over towards it.
Well, Zip wants to split these defenders, and this is exactly what I like to see from Oregon to bring themselves back. Starting to get a little bit messy. Finally clean up Zip, though, to the A side of the map. Working on that 3rd ticket progression. Schlep has the trophy system. Tony Ma getting into the back. Lingo with the perfect flank and Urgent to shut down the B attack. This is big from UTA Blue. Oregon. They should have had this. They needed a little bit more space, but now the time is going to be a big factor. Down to 11 seconds. Zelos takes out big win on Urgent. Now back on this clock for the B side. They need to keep their feet on it. They need to keep the progression going. They need to get Schlep off it, but they also need to look behind them because Tony is just raining terror back here. And now there's not enough time to touch a site. 3 seconds will cross, and Oregon Green will go down 0-1 in control.
And an 8 life differential to the side of UTA Blue as well. Not what you want to see from Oregon Green there on their first offense. And I mean, I think the one thing that we got to look at there, when Oregon Green was almost done that 3rd tick, they were still set up. Zip was pushed very, very far up in that A site, in the middle of the arches. He gets shut down, and what that allowed was all the players on the side of UTA Blue to fly out of top green and set up a pinch on the hill. They were able to do so successfully, win out all their gunfights. And I mean, we got to be talking about Tony Ma right now. 10-4 to start this game off through round 1. Off to a hot start here for the side of UTA Blue.
Definitely Tony Ma showing good, but Zips found his way into the backline of UTA countless times, but he needs to decide whether he wants to dedicate himself to the point or dedicate himself to taking some kills into their spawns, because he looks a little bit conflicted. Every single time he goes for that overextension right off the spawn, Schlep finds 2, keeps the kills in favor, and Urgent, an opening. The B site completely open for UTA Blue to get some time, and they are going to be soaking up the progression here.
Oh, that gunfight up top is so huge from Zip, though, because this allows them to try to set up a little bit of a pinch. Urgent is already watching it, though. He's got the freaking hand, but they're hitting 3 players in through lights right now. That should shut the push down, but Tony Ma once again goes huge and finds 2 more kills.
This is just troubling if you're an Oregon fan. You need to rally back for your team. Urgent and a big one-on-one takes down Lil Booyah, and that's going to be 3 ticks to the B site. 24 lives on Oregon, 26 to UTA, 2 minutes on the time bank. You only need A now to go up 2-0 in this control. Urgent, Zelos finally shuts him down. A big pick for Zelos, but cleaned up by Lingo.
And now UTA, they're just going to try to push their way through the middle of the map. That's why they're putting so much focus on winning all these gunfights. They don't want to push this in through top green. They want to hit this through cobblestone so they can pinch these players out in the back and spawn them towards that bottom left-hand side of your mini map. You can see they're already trying to nade Tavin out, and here comes in the double challenge.
The double challenge is perfect. Urgent right away. Zelos picks up where Tavin couldn't land some kills. Tony Ma, though, doing what Tony Ma's just been doing, 13-5. Taking control of bricks. Tavin's up next. Tavin, a big 2-kill. 2 spree right there. You still got the A under your side. You can't push for a spawn because of how far or UTA has you pushed back, but a good start right now to this defense of UTA Blue.
Tavin pretty effectively just shut that whole push down from the side of UTA Blue. Fantastic job out of him as he's able to do that. And I mean, now UTA Blue, it staggers the push. They got to slow down, wait for the rest of their players to come off spawn, because I mean, there's only 50 seconds left. They probably only got maybe 1, possibly 2 good shots at trying to break back into this again.
We talk about how 12 of the 13 kills that Tony Ma has are objective kills. Insane statistic. Urgent On bricks, Tavin spots him out, just playing his life, looking to heal up. 150 health is going to be up. Tavin relocates, lets his player get in behind. Big trace to Oregon Green. They once again shut down UTA.
The problem there is UTA doesn't push up far enough into the top left-hand side of the minimap. So all the Oregon players, they do end up spawning up towards that A side, and they're just able to reinforce that so fast. Oh, Booyah just got a nade right to the face. Not what you want to see, but I mean, right now it's looking pretty good. Oregon Green, they should be able to close this round out.
Spot Tony Ma, pepper some shots in. 7 seconds left. UTA has to make something work, but I actually don't think they're going to touch this. They're just playing for lives. Smart, playing for the long game. Giving up the round to Oregon. They're going to tie 1-1, but off of that heavy round 1 win that UTA had, playing for lives is a very smart way to handle this round 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't fully recall. I didn't get a chance to look at the end of the live stream, so hopefully we can kind of check it out on the recast.
Do the math.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But they were up, what, 8 at the end of that one? That was at the end of the first round. That round was still pretty close towards the end of it. So I'd like to think that they make a good play there and just sitting back waiting and not trying to push too far up. And I mean, yeah, if you look at these kills right now, Oregon Green, actually, they might be clawing their way back into it very slowly. It's really only Tony Ma who's breaking out right now. Maybe like a 4-kill lead.
I still need Zelos to pick it up a little bit. He's a big player here for the SMG side on Garrison, and 7 and 15 is just not cutting it. You're giving up way too many deaths in this series. Tony Ma gets up close, but it's what you need from Zelos. Big initial kill, and Finch onto Schlepp's good. Now that opens up the B side. Oh, it's urgent. He's got into the back line. I didn't even see this. He escapes there, and you also have Linga going for some spawn kills. So UTA, they transition from this, and it's perfect timing for them.
It's back-to-back defenses from UTA where they just get so many kills right off the rip. They win that opening break and just instantly are in the faces of Oregon Green. And Tony Ma, once again, the sneaky little snake that he is, goes through the vents. He's able to find one, pushes out, finds the second on a Tavin as well. He is absolutely on fire in this map mode combo. He just gets shot through the green.
Zelos, cheeky shot right there. Oh my. Tony Ma finally goes down, but 17 and 11, he does exactly what he needs to do. Even at that, this is what I said.
Oh, that's what you asked for.
Round 1, you need to dedicate yourself to the kills or dedicate yourself to the point. Goes for a kill in the back line, and that forces some players back off of the necks of Oregon Green. A big play from Zip.
Oh, that's a big one-on-one from Little Booyah there to shut that player down. And I mean, there's still so much mid-map control going to the side of UTA, and there's only 28 seconds left on this clock right now. Oregon Green, they need to move up, and they need to touch onto his zone so they can shut this down for the time being. But Schlepp and Urgent are able to find another 2-piece in the middle of the map. That's going to be 3 down. It's only up to Tavin right now to touch the hill.
You still got Urgent back here. Tavin realizes it. Big 2 kills, 11 seconds left, so he's going to put himself on the point, stop it at 9. Now looking for progression here. Take a look at the setup for UTA. Setting up in that courtyard. Zelos pushing a little bit too far forward, and they are going to take that kill indeed. Schlepp pushing through vents. Urgent to get in behind. Tavin's going to give up the point for a bit, but you need to keep yourself on that, sir. Urgent, he takes another one down. Tavin's keeping himself on this point, but now Urgent looking to clean them all up. And in fact, that's exactly what he does. Down to 3 seconds. Going for a little bit more on this. Let's bite off some more Oregon players, and UTA take a 2-1 lead.
This is the part that I'm a little bit worried about for Oregon Green. UTA's defenses have looked absolutely fantastic. So not only are you now going to have to win this next round of defense for yourself, but you have to win this next round of defense, and you need to win it convincingly. Get a lot more kills here so you can secure yourself that final defense, because right now it's looking like defense in this series is going to stand strong on this map mode combo itself. So they need to come out here and they need to slay Seymour.
They need to do something big. And I mean, luckily they had a defensive win against UTA. They haven't given up streaks. So this is still doable for Oregon. I mean, you just get a good wipe on UTA here and possibly guarantee yourself another defending round in round 5.
And if anybody's wondering why these two casters are talking so heavily about why these guys need to outslay right now, is at the end of the game, the final round of control will be decided. The defense will be decided by whichever team gets the most kills. So that's why we're framing this up so much right now. We need these two teams. Oregon Green, they need to find a lot of kills in this round and shut down the push from UTA Blue. But let's not forget UTA Blue. They can absolutely still win it on this round by winning.
Left right into bricks. Sauces himself on a Tavin. Cleaned up the Oregon wipe once more. UTA trying their best to break through this wall of Oregon players. Still holding on to it with a life lead by 1.
The map positioning.
Schlep, oh my, did you see that shot? That was from the UTA spawn all the way back boxes. And they're going to put themselves right on this B site to gain some progression.
Oregon Green is just giving up so much map positioning right now to the side of UTA Blue. It's almost like they're playing a little bit scared, if I'm being completely honest. They're just sitting back. They don't really want to take these gunfights right now. And it looks like a defensive setup from when we used to have Search and Destroy here on this map. Little Booyah will now contest the hill. But really, he's the only player here for the side of Oregon Green that's anywhere close. And, I mean, they should be good to get the last of this tick.
They should be good cleaning up Tavern there. And this is exactly where Oregon was last time around. They gave up the B site. They played lives for A. And now Zelos set up underneath that radar. Zip for the break control. Oregon Green looking to continue where they left off in that last defensive round. 22 lives for Oregon. 24 for UTA. UTA setting up to clear out breaks. They spot out Zip. They nade him off of that 2, but 2 kills to Oregon. Make it 3. They're shutting this down immediately. Urgent's the last one up, but Zip clears him out.
The last time through, when we saw this defense start, the reason that UTA was able to get so many ticks onto it was because the transition from Oregon Green over towards the A side was not as clean. This time through, it is a lot cleaner for the side of Oregon Green as they're able to get a full setup. Yes, a couple of them do fall, but as they fall, they respawn. They're able to get back right into the same positions that they want to be in here on this defense to shut this push from the side of UTA down. As that first player goes down now, it's going to be even tougher for UTA to try to break onto this.
And every single kill that you lose out on, UTA is just going to have to stall out their attack more and more. Now it's down to 30 seconds. Time's starting to become a big factor here. Tavern controlling breaks. Nobody on Oregon pushing it too far out or overextending past this. They're all playing for that A control. Schlep with a big opening onto Zip through breaks. That's going to give Urgent the go-ahead for small room. Schlep does go down in the back of the map, but Urgent trying to make the play onto the A side of the map. Tavern, though, finds him in the back. 3 go down once again from UTA. Now down to 10 seconds. Linga, if you find a kill, maybe that would give the go-ahead, but now that he is in a fight and Zip's going to take him down, that should be another round for Oregon. We're headed to a round 5.
Yeah, but the kills, I think, are enough on the side of Oregon for them to be able to pull it up. If our producer can pull up the stats right now, we can kind of take a quick look. It's really close because you got Linga dropping 7 over on him. That might be the difference maker. It's actually really, really close right now. I can't do quick maths fast enough to be able to find this one out.
It's okay.
And we're just gonna have to wait and see who gets the defense here. But like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Quick math isn't a prerequisite.
So UTA, even with 7 kills on the side of Linga, are able to close it off. I honestly didn't even want to see them do that last push. I wanted to see them hold off and make sure that they would secure themselves the defense here. Nonetheless, they push through. They end up losing the round, still secure themselves the defense, and now they got to look to try to do exactly what they've done so far. You've been able to shut down Oregon Green time and time again on offense very convincingly. Do it one more time, and you're moving on to the playoffs.
UTA looking for the 3-0 sweep here. Oregon forced to win an attack if they want to stay alive in the winner's bracket. They get 2 kills right off the bat. Tony Ma going to stall out their attack, gaining progression towards B. If Tony Ma goes down, it's going to be a big pick for Oregon Green, but so far, so good for the Green squad. And Zelos not giving up too much space, going to control into this elbow. Schlep right around the corner, going to push right into it, not expecting the prone, and 2 more kills to Oregon. They get the second tick of progression, working on their third. And this might be the go-ahead. They're going to give it up. So Oregon Green finally finding a tick or a full 3 onto B.
But Zip by himself again, over challenging way too much, and it's Tony Ma who will shut it down again for the side of UTA Blue. That was a much cleaner break off for the side of Oregon. They were able to push all the way through, find a couple kills, and not have the side of UTA in their spawn right off the rip. Now here comes the issue, though, is they get 4-man wiped very quickly there while trying to transition over to A, to the point where UTA are able to push up and get so much map control. And now, if you're Oregon Green, you have to try to fight out of your zone. Yes, you're able to win a few gunfights here, but UTA is able to just sit back and now just basically wait for you to push on through.
Well, UTA struggled against Oregon in this situation. Now Oregon, I can't imagine how hard it's going to be to beat out UTA, and Urgent leading the way with a big 2 kill. You have Lil Booyah finding a pick for Oregon, but not enough so far because Urgent is still there to rain on terror. Looking to clean up Zip. Zip's found his way into the back line. Split trades for either team, but Linga finally finds out Zip, and nobody for Oregon far to the side. Linga's going to take this real estate, push into the vents, and look to be a sneaky snake as always. Taps around the corner. Tavin's going to win that one out, so maybe a go-ahead for Oregon. Open up a little bit of spot. Green here, but Zip and Zelos go over to breaks.
I thought they were setting up to 4-hit out through green. That's what it looked like for the time being. But it looks like they're just setting up a bit of a pinch here, but trades will go down back and forth. Nothing really going towards anybody, but it's Tony Ma again for the side of UTA, shutting the push down, and now there's only 38 seconds left for the side of Oregon Green. They have to try to push on through. They only have 13 lives, and you've got Tony Ma once again inside middle map, just raining down fire.
Raining indeed. And when it rains, it pours. Link up for another one. Urgent to clean it up. Looking for a second. Little Booyah is going to take this pick, but split trades once again, and down to 9 lives is Oregon Green. 18 seconds to make that magic happen. Tapping from the top ropes, not able to take down Tony Ma. Finally goes for the challenge and taking him down, but still, UTA keeping Oregon off this point. 8 seconds left. UTA, I don't think Oregon can do this. They're going to complete Leo Swift. They just got to clean up Lil Booyah. Lil Booyah keeping Oregon alive here. 6 lives left. Tony Ma hits that stun. He got the help. Down 5 players. No respawns. Lil Booyah still on this point. Player to his left for the contention. That is going to be Schlepp. Takes out Tavin. Look how safe Lil Booyah is playing right now.
Why would Booyah not double challenge that? I feel like that's a situation where you have to just to shut him down. But instead he's going to wait for his teammates to come off. Zelos slides across. But the trades are just not there right now for the side of Oregon Green. They only got 2 lives left.
2v5. And Lil Booyah gets to take a progression. Linga spots out. 2v4. Schlepp in behind. If they catch out Schlepp, that would be such a big pick. But Urgent makes it a 1v5. All up to Zelos in the back. They collapse on him. That's going to be UTA Blue taking a 3-0 sweep over Oregon Green and moving on in your winner's bracket. That's not going to be it for Oregon Green, though. They get to drop down to the loser's bracket to make a run, but at the hands of this man right here, Urgent. Beautiful plays from UTA. We see an upset on the Bravo stream tonight, Cruz.
That is not at all what we thought we were going to see from this series. We thought that this was a very good chance that this could go in Oregon Green's favor. Not the case. UTA Blue come out and they 3-0 stomp. They didn't just win this series. They stomped their way through this series. 100-point club in the search and destroy. A very convincing, 100-point club in the hard point. A very convincing search and destroy. And I mean, every defensive round there, they looked absolutely in control on that garrison, and they were able to just close that game out time and time again. And I think you got to put it all on the back of Urgent and Tony Ma. Time and time again, these guys were just able to just push through, find every single kill that they needed to. Trades were always on point for the side of UTA Blue, and it's just that teamwork factor that put them over the edge and just won them this entire series.
You know what? I can't say. UTA Blue are shining right now. They are stunning. Looking to make a run. And they won maps that they shouldn't have won statistically in this. So they're going to move forward. Oregon Green drops to the losers bracket. I got a little bit of I got something special to tell you guys. Something incredibly special that as a CCL staff member, so proud to see this happen. We have been nominated for the Esports Award in the Collegiate Awards section. So if you've been loving your time with the CCL as we have, we're wondering if you could return the favor and go to the Esports Awards site and go and nominate us at www.esportsaward.com/nominate for the Esports Collegiate Award. It has been such an honor to be able to put on these shows for you, to work for your entertainment and keep the CCL running. And we hope you've enjoyed, and we hope that we can do you proud to win this Esports Collegiate Award. Such an honor to be nominated indeed. Cruz, I can't believe this is how far we've come, and the amount of support, the amount of passion that's put into the college COD, this is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, in 3 short years, CCL has gone from very, very small to 180 teams this year. Absolutely insane. And I mean, we basically doubled our teams from last year. So I mean, if that's the case and we continue just to keep on growing like you've been saying since the start, CCL to the moon, man.
Yep, CCL to the moon every year. The Esports Award recognizes the best colleges or the best collegiate esports, and you yourself, you can help us win this award. Do you guys proud? Such a pleasure. UTA Blue, keeping that pleasure going, keeping the entertainment strong off the back of Urgent. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head to a little bit of a break. And when we are back, we're going to have Illini Orange going up against Texas State. An incredible match. Can't wait to see it. But right now, it's a break. We'll see you soon.